The migration is managed using Cirrus Data Solutions' CMC portal in the cloud. Let's create a new project by clicking on the Create New Project button. Here we'll enter a project name, a short description, and click Create Project. Click on the newly created project to open it. Project details and license information are listed here. On the left are the items related to this project, such as project overview, migration hosts, H2H connections, migration sessions, integrations, and project settings. Now let's discover the Windows VM. Click Migration Hosts. As you can see, there are currently no existing discovered hosts in the CMC portal. Click here to get the one-line installation command to add them. We will install the CMC agent on the AWS VM. Click the Windows tab and copy the command. Here's the remote desktop console for the Windows VM. Open up a PowerShell session in the RDP window. Paste the copied command and run it. It takes about 30 seconds to a minute for the registration to complete. There is no user interaction necessary. This command can be remotely executed using Windows management tools or other software deployment automation tools. While this is running, let's launch Disk Manager in Computer Manager. The disk to be migrated is Disk 1. Let's start Iometer to put some I/O on this disk. Here we can see the disk is now active with I/O, and the registration has completed. Now at the hosts window, we can see the AWS Windows VM. We will now browse to the AWS Management webpage, open up the FSx Cloud Manager portal, and we can see there's an existing file system. The required target disk will be automatically created by the CMC plugin for FSx later. The new integration will appear under the Enabled tab on the integration page of the CMC portal. Now click Data Migration to open up the Migration Sessions page. Use the red button to create a new one. Click the New Migration Session button, select the source Windows host, and click Continue. Click Local Migration. Select the option to migrate data volumes only. Click Continue. Select Drive 1, which is an NTFS volume with the label Drive K, then click the Auto Allocate Destination button at the top right. Select the Integration AWS FSx ONTAP, and click Continue. Once all the remediation steps have been completed, click here to allocate the new target disks. Now a new iSCSI volume is allocated on AWS FSx. A new iSCSI initiator group is created with the AWS Windows 2019 instances iSCSI IQN. The new LUN is then mapped to this initiator group. The Windows disk subsystem is rescanned, and the new disk now appears as Physical Drive 2, and it's paired with the source AWS native disk, Physical Drive 1. Click Continue. Now we will continue creating the migration session by entering some information, a short description of the migration, and the periodic sync interval. IQOS is Cirrus Data's intelligent quality of service. We can choose minimum impact, moderate impact, aggressive, or relentless. For this migration, we'll pick moderate. Click Create Session to start the migration. Here's the dashboard to let you know how the migration is going. It shows the source NTFS volume Physical Drive 1 migrating to the newly created FSx target disk Physical Drive 2. We can observe the migration progress and the host details. We can also see changes, migration rate, and the remaining data left to synchronize. After the initial sync is complete, every 5 minutes CMC will perform a resync. Now we're waiting for the synchronization to become 100% complete. Monitor the migration session screen. When the status becomes tracking changes, the initial copy is complete, and we can proceed to the next step, which is see motion. Synchronization has now reached 100%, and the session is in the tracking changes state. In this state, migration is paused, and a dirty map is maintained to track the block level changes. When it's time to cut over, the next step will be to trigger see motion and wait until the status changes to see motion. In this mode, there are no more updates to the native storage, but a dirty map is used to track block level changes so that if it becomes necessary, it is possible to revert see motion back to the source. Click Session Actions and select Finalize Cutover. Now the final cutover can begin. At this state, the volume is still accessible by redirection to the target disk. No new changes are accumulating at the source, because all the writes are immediately redirected to the target disk. At this point, migration is complete, and the host application can continue to run indefinitely. The goal of moving the workload to the FSx ONTAP volume is achieved without any downtime. This is possible because cMotion redirection transparently uses the FSx ONTAP volume to emulate the EBS volume.